Hi, Dr. Sean Woods here from the Healing Vibe, teaching in my book. We are moving on to leaky gut syndrome, and it's smart to go to this next subject because we just talked about the small intestine in the last video, and that is where most of the leaky gut occurs, is in that small intestine. Our body has a mucal barrier starting from the mouth and the throat, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, even into the lungs. It's all one mucal layer. It doesn't stop and start anywhere. And when you're thinking about healing a leaky gut, correcting this mucal layer is critical. Now, what happens in leaky gut is when you look at under a microscope, when you look at the small intestine, the cells in the small intestine are budding, closely together, and food is coming into that small intestine, breaking it down 1,000,000 times smaller than when you ate it, and it should just absorb into the body. The cells open and food particles go through, properly digested. And leaky gut looks a little bit like this. This is a nice little drawing of it. You have nice tight cells here, and then what happens is when the cilia that line these cells, they start to die because of mostly acidic situations in the gut. These loose junctions start to form. And then you get all types of pathogens, all types of bugs, metals, chemicals, undigested proteins, undigested fats, undigested carbohydrates coming into the body. And to a human body, that's an autoimmune reaction. So that's why it's so apparent today. You see autoimmune disease all over the place. And it's not linked just to autoimmune. All the other diseases that we're seeing are mostly linked to leaky gut syndromes. There is a enzyme called zonulin, which helps to regulate this opening of these cells. And as the small intestine remains acidic and food kind of sits there undigested, the cilia of those cells die down, zonulin gets depleted, and the junctions open up. An important thing to understand is that zonulin also regulates the opening and closing of the blood-brain barrier, which sits at the brainstem. And that very close connection that hopefully you've heard by now, when people talk about the gut being the second brain, well, it certainly is your second brain. More neural synapses in your gut than there are in your brain. Your gut is making 80-90% of the serotonin of the body, which is that neurotransmitter that affects mood and tells your body and tells your brain that everything is okay and that I feel pretty good. So when you start to think about healing a leaky gut, the first thing you have to do is start cleaning out that small intestine. You have to start cleaning out that large intestine and improving that mucal barrier, that mucal lining throughout that whole system. And it's good to use digestive enzymes. The cell salts are always fantastic, and the herbal world can be the best because the body loves the herbs, and the bacteria that thrive in your gut love herbs the most. It is what the body was built on. So understanding leaky gut is not hard to do, but correcting it is critical to your health, and it's not something that you do in a day or a week or a month. It's consistent work. It's consistent improvement of the diet of fruits and vegetables, and the continuous ingestion of these herbs and these salts and enzymes for a little while to get that mucal lining clean and to stop putting lots of protein, lots of fats into the body so that that mucal layer just becomes thicker and more inflamed. I'm always telling my patients, when I want to get you healthy, it's not how much more protein you can eat. It's not how much more fats you can get in the body. It's really about learning how to turn your body into a fuel-efficient machine, which means eating lots of fruits and vegetables, training your body to handle sugar again, and to use that for its energy source. And when you consistently and continuously do these things, you see leaky guts seal up, they heal, And then you start to see the body heal on many, many different levels. Many symptoms that people have go away when you start to seal up a leaky gut.